Hi, this is Shrimanto, a data scientist currently working as a consultant in Deloitte, India. Lots and lots of people are learning data science, but we see that only a handful of them are able to make this transition successfully and get themselves a data science job. So, what is the reason for this slow conversion? Well, if you ask me, the main problem that I find is that they don't plan for their resume and interview in advance. In this video, I'll be talking about the same and also what you can do and what are the things that you should do in advance to prepare for your data science interview. Your resume is one of the main piece of document that determines your chance of getting shortlisted for a machine learning interview. So what should your resume look like? Let's understand this with an example for, let's say, a non-data science candidate, let's say a civil engineer. First thing to keep in mind is that while recruiter reads your resume, it should appear to him that he is reading a data scientist resume and not a civil engineer. Secondly, your resume must include project related to your current or existing domain. Let's say you were involved in construction of concrete. Now, while the raw materials given to you, can you come up with a model which predicts the compressive strength of the concrete in advance? This will also help you in your QC processes. In addition to that, feel free to add projects related to your current domain and showcase its impact in terms of numbers and analytics. Let's say the bridge construction or the flyover building that you were involved in helped reduce the traffic density by 200 vehicles per hour in the peak time in your current area. Data is everywhere around us. So whatever line of work you're currently in, I'm quite sure there must be some point in your process where data science can be used to add more value to the already existing process. Let's say you work as a customer center representative for a telecom company, or let's say you're a food delivery agent. Ask yourself, what are the data points around you? Then, with that data points, what kind of analysis can you make to make your job easier? Thirdly, how will this be impacting your company at a broader scale? Try to emulate all these 3 points using a real world data and create a project maybe. This will send direct message to the recruiter that not only candidate knows data science, but he also knows how to implement them. As a fresher, you're not expected to be a domain expert. Rather, recruiter will be more interested in testing on your technical skills. So, one thing that you can always showcase to the recruiter is that you're very passionate about data. Research on the topics about data cleaning. Research on what challenges all organizations face while maintaining their data pipeline. Be an expert in data cleaning and also formatting the data. At the end, make a list of all the complex data cleaning tasks that you have done using Python or SQL. Maybe write blogs about it and definitely maintain all your code base in your GitHub repository about data cleaning. Okay, before I answer that, I have an advice for you. There should be 3 things that should directly go at top of your resume. 1, your LinkedIn profile, 2, your GitHub repository, and 3rd, a blog post. Yes, you heard that right. I recommend all my students to write blogs about data science. Writing blogs is the best way to validate your learning. Something which has helped me personally a lot in my career. This is also a smart way to attract your recruiter to your strong point. Wonder how? Let's take an example. Let's say you are very good about a particular topic, let's say random forest, and let's say you have written multiple blogs on random forest, right? So as a recruiter, when I see this, I'll be tempted to ask you and test your knowledge on random forest. And given that you have done all the research and written the blogs, chances are you would be most likely be able to answer that question. One of the first questions that will be asked to you is to introduce yourself. So here's how you should answer. Hello, I'm Shrimanto, a data scientist currently working at Deloitte, India. Of late, I got a chance to work on machine learning projects where my roles were feature engineering, model building, and model deployment. Recently, I got a chance to work on a project where the objective of the project was to predict whether a particular customer will subscribe to a product or not. This was by far the most challenging project for me, and also I got to learn a lot. So, the data given to me was only limited to 3 columns. Although there were only 3 columns, but the volume of data was huge. We had almost a million rows. Alright, and on top of that, I had to also process the entire data in my local machine. I used the concept of lazy computation to do this task. I learned how to work on low memory and used the concept of lazy computation to do this task. In the end, we were able to completely transform the product's campaigning from a traditional rule-based approach to a machine learning driven approach. Notice how I mentioned clearly 3 things about my project. 1. The objective of the project. 2. My role in the project. And 3. The impact created by the project. Also, while walking through the project, I also addressed the challenges I faced and how I overcame that. This is really insightful, and as a recruiter, it will give him or her the confidence that since the candidate has already worked on a challenging project, he can be a good fit at my firm too. Make sure that the projects that you're putting up in your resume is challenging enough and also it's compelling enough for any non-data science stakeholders to accept and understand. Go on and build a full end-to-end project which involves data extraction, data cleaning, data analysis, machine learning model, and model deployment. Also, you need to back up your project with good documentation. So, definitely make sure that you're involving descriptions of each functions or functionalities that are there in your code, and maybe finally when you present it to someone, present it in a PPT format, something like that. Also, while talking about your project, make sure you're addressing these 3 points. 1. The objective of the project, your roles and responsibilities in the project, and the impact that your project will be creating.